Hello, all you horror fans. Welcome to Terrible Reviews. I'm your host, David, and today's movie is Final Destination 3. Now, I do need to give a quick epilepsy warning. If you do have epilepsy, there are several scenes in this movie, especially towards the end of the movie, with a lot of flashing lights, so you've been warned. But without further ado, let's get right into the review. So, starting with terror, is this movie scary? In ways, yes. Overall, the story kind of takes away from the scariness factor in this because this movie is a little bit silly in a lot of the actions that the characters take. But overall, just like the first two movies, this movie will traumatize you. This one specifically with roller coasters and some everyday activities that you may be doing. So I'll have to give this one a 3 out of 5 for terror, just because, at least for me personally, when I first saw this movie when it came out, I could not get on roller coasters for like 2 years. So this movie, while not overall scary, it will kind of scar you if you aren't prepared. So just take that as a warning for this movie if you do enjoy riding roller coasters. Now, on to the gore, the special effects. Were they good in this movie? I would have to say there's a trend with the Final Destination movies, and there are two of them to be particular. One is that they all have really, really great and sometimes groundbreaking visual practical effects. So this movie was no different there. Not really anything groundbreaking, but all of the practical effects in this movie are terrific. Chef's kiss. They all look amazing. Now, the other trend is bad CG, and this movie unfortunately falls victim to that here and there. Now, this one is not super atrocious, and they don't use it a ton, but what you do see looks very bad. It looked very bad back then, and it did not stand the test of time either. So I do have to take off a few points for that. But overall, I will give the gore in this movie a 3 out of 5. Again, the practical effects team did an amazing job, just like they have for every movie in this series. Now, on to story, and that is the weakest part of this movie for me. The story in this one is falling victim to having to follow the formula of the first two movies, and it's become pretty stale at this point. You already know, like, kind of what's going to happen. You already know that what the ending's going to kind of do, and they didn't really change anything with this movie at all. So I do have to take off points there. Now, they did try to change, like, the way that the order is picked, and that was kind of interesting, although it wasn't too dissimilar to the first two movies. And then lastly, the characters in this movie are pretty decent. I have to give them props there. All the characters are pretty believable, although they are sometimes annoying. But overall, you've probably met some people like this in life, and it is kind of satisfying to see some of them die in this movie. I'm not going to lie. So I do have to give them a little bit of props there, but overall the story is pretty bland and just following the same formula. So I can only give it a 3 out of 5 as well. Now, lastly, is this movie fun? Yes, this movie is a blast to watch, even if you're just making fun of what's going on or like the characters' decisions, or you're just there to see all the cool effects, practical effects, and gore in this movie. While I did give everything like pretty low scores, I have to give fun a 4 out of 5. I've had fun watching this movie every single time that I have watched it, and I believe that you guys will too. But overall, is this movie terrifying or terrible? I'd have to say it's pretty terrifying. It will scar you a little bit, just like the other movies will. But have you seen Final Destination 3? If you have, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to follow, and I'll see you guys in the next video.